16 American troops died in Iraq last month, more than any time in the past 2 years, and U.S. military officials indirectly blame Iran for their deaths.
Most of our kids who have been killed recently have been killed by extremist Shia groups, not by al-Qaeda in Iraq, but by extremist Shia groups, and they are clearly getting some fairly sophisticated and powerful weapons from Iran.
A U.S. official says Iraqi militias are now using armor-piercing grenades and IRAMs, metal canisters packed with explosives and shot by rockets. The official says that is a signature weapon of groups backed by Iran.
You have to pay attention to the fact that, yeah, we have a mildly aggressive nation right next door, a nation that has interest here.
When I embedded with U.S. troops right along the Iraq-Iran border last year, they were already dealing with weapons being smuggled in.
How big of an influence does Iran have in what goes on here?
Well, I think it's huge. Iran didn't sign a security agreement like we did. Iran doesn't have a responsible drawdown of forces like we do. Iran doesn't have a timetable to be out when we do.
So to counter Iran's influence, a lot of American officials now want to adjust that timetable and keep U.S. military forces in Iraq past the end of the year.
I think that it would be mutually beneficial to us and the Iraqis if, in fact, that was the case.
The number of 10,000 troops has been floated around, but keeping that many could face popular resistance back home.
But clearly, there is still a threat in Iraq, and a small, soft presence there, I think, would be advisable.
Now, Iran denies any involvement with these weapons, but some of the U.S. troops there tell me that Iran would pay Iraqi truck drivers to drive weapons over the border. And they say one of the things that makes it very difficult for them to really separate the two nations is along that area, you've got family ties where people have been going back and forth across that border for hundreds of years and living across that border with their families. Chris Lawrence, CNN, The Pentagon.